You can never be woke enough. That's the problem. It keeps going. It keeps going further and further and further down the line. And if you get to the point where you capitulate, where you agree to all these demands, it will eventually get to straight white men are not allowed to talk.
Right.
This is transphobic podcast host Joe Rogan talking about how fragile he is.
Because it's your privilege to express yourself when other people of color have been silenced throughout history. It will be, you're not allowed to go outside because so many people were imprisoned for so many years. I mean, I'm not joking.
No, I know.
It really will get there. It's that crazy.
All I hear is wah, wah, wah from a mega millionaire.
You know, we just got to be nice to each other, man. And there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of this weirdness in our culture, and then that becomes their thing. Their thing is calling people out for their privilege, calling people out for their position. You know, it's crazy times.
Yet here's Rogan calling people out daily for their positions as he sits on a $100 million deal with Spotify. Thing is,
it's all woke. It's all woke culture. It's this culture of compliance. They want you to comply. That's what it's about more than anything. It's getting people to change, getting people to listen to you and do what you want them to do.
He's been doing this shtick for years.
Here's what we got to stop looking for things that make you angry, and just try to let things go and just be nice to each other.
Yes, be nice to each other, says this guy.
Don't pretend that you're exactly the same as a biological woman. You're pretending that that's a woman, and it's not. Those are the people that just want inclusiveness and they just want everyone to be okay. And, you know, maybe this is the world I'm looking for. I'm looking towards a world where everyone's included. Yeah, good. Have a transgender league. Have a transgender division.
We need to be nice to each other, says the guy that seeks to disenfranchise trans people. Hey man, be nice. Or is it
be best?
Joe Rogan has made so much money in his deal with Spotify, which was signed for over $100 million. Yet the basis for his argument as a straight white man who signed the deal with the streaming service is that straight white men are being silenced because of woke culture. Straight white men are being silenced, bellows the guy who in just 3 months has become the most popular audio show of 2020 among its global listenership. He panders this way, not just through his rhetoric, but also the demos of guests he has on his show. He feeds into this talking point routinely, driving it consistently into the ears of his loyal listeners. It's almost like a Jordan Peterson-y vibe. It's not surprising, as the politics of the guests align. The top 3 most listened to episodes have this common theme. Note the audience that is driving these numbers. Again, politically aligned. Rogan is infamous for interviewing several controversial figures, including far-right Proud Boys founder Gavin McInnes and disgraced comedian Chris D'Elia. He came under fire late last month after he falsely claimed on his show that healthy young adults do not need to get vaccinated. The podcast host later clarified in a podcast episode on April 29th that he was not an anti-vax person. Rogan is essentially pulling a Trump here, whose administration banned white privilege or white fragility training for employees of federal contractors. They outlawed it via executive order. New Orleans Pelicans head coach Stan Van Gundy wrote, of all the problems facing our country, now the silencing of straight white men might be the biggest. Everyone else is more privileged than we are. I'm glad we've got this guy to fight for all of us poor victims, being sarcastic, obviously. When one person clapped back that Van Gundy is just following clickbait and he's misinformed in his take, well, Van Gundy responded. Straight white men are the most privileged people in our country. They will never be silenced as a group, at least not in our lifetimes or our kids' lifetimes. There is no context that keeps this from being total BS.